CS2 is changing. Just weeks into the new year, and we have finally got to witness some of the highly anticipated debuts we've all been waiting for. A brand new tournament format, a brand new train back in the competitive pool, a number of first looks for the star players on their new teams, and finally, for the first time in history, an all-female roster playing in a Tier 1 event against the #1 team in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2025.
Low key. On Ancient, my hand started shaking. I think it was about 10th round. I'm like, whoa, this is f***ing crazy. Like, it's back and forth. I'm like, what can happen next? We lose a couple of rounds, then we're down like 9-5. I am shocked.
Oh, he hit her. Oh, God. He finds her in the smoke. Deagle shot connects. Clean headshot from Cat. Bomb planted. Wonderful op-up on jungle. Huge advantage here for Wonderful. Oh!
With the rare inspect, Cat and the 1 dig.
Roster Mania was f***ing nuts. Yakindar benched, Nico to Falcons, Rops to Vitality, Alish to FaZe, and plenty more where that came from. Were a lot of these moves expected? Yes, but it was obvious from the get-go that these moves were going to make this year look a lot different. And on top of all the new jerseys we got to get a peek at, both good and awful, we finally got to see some of these reshuffled teams in action at Blast Bounty.
We've still got this Gandalf position. Moth goes deep, but it's covered. NPL finds his. Modest is on the ramp. Barely any time. Bomb has to be planted. Head trick comes off, and now he needs the kill.
Oh, what a shot from Modesty and a clip.
Announced last year, Blast Bounty is the brand new tournament format with a dynamic prize pool, where upon entering, the top 16 teams out of 32 have a price put on their heads of up to $60,000, depending on their Valve ranking. Defeating a team with a bounty nets half of that cash immediately into your payout for the tournament, while the other half is added to your own bounty. And the best part of it all? The bottom 16 teams get to throw down the gauntlet, picking their opponents for the first 2 rounds. This rules, giving way for some crazy matchups and potential upsets like we saw with the rank 30th Bet Boom taking down Mouse and their $30,000 bounty.
Torji to the clutch with just the Tech 9. Up in the face of the op, he'll get his first, turns back to the arch side, but they're getting past him, and they do it. A $30,000 upset here from Bet Boom. They take down the #5 seed.
Now, I can gush about this all video, but as I said, we have some debuts to talk about, so let's get through them. Starting with Team Liquid, who now have Nerds as their replacement for Yakindar. They kick things off by taking down 9 Pandas 2-0, with a standout performance from both the new addition and JKS. Unfortunately, that would be the end of the event for TL as they fell 2-1 to Heroic. Despite Twists stepping up for the team, JKS fell off a cliff. That being said, Nerds looked strong and, more importantly, consistent. Now, it was only 2 matches, so who's to say where they go from here, but hopefully it's something they can build upon. Side note, Sunpius was absolutely out of line with this wallbang.
Oh dear.
Moving on to Team Spirit, to little surprise, they shit on both Fnatic and FlyQuest, with Donk continuing to do Donk things, securing himself firmly as the top player of this event already. We also got to finally see Nico on Falcons, arguably the biggest transfer over the break. And CS fans were in 2 camps with this one. Those hoping to God this wouldn't immediately prove to be the biggest mistake in Nico's career, and others praying for his downfall. Things started off well enough with a close 2-0 over Ents. Nico played great, and Tessus was, quite frankly, out of his goddamn mind. However, Kixan and Magisk left a lot to be desired, and that would continue to be the case in their series against Eternal Fire. They were simply outclassed on Inferno and allowed the Turks to come back 5 rounds on Nuke to eventually take it in overtime, along with their $30,000 bounty.
A union that took so long to come together. It took a while to have Kixan and Dexter on the same side of the server. Can they dig deep? Can they pull back this 2-on-3? It's just the captain. It's just Madja. Knife pulled as the captains clash. Defuse being held. And Madja seals the deal with a knife. Goodbye, Falcons.
Obvious grain of salt here, these are the first looks for all of these teams, so there is no reason to see these results as a massive indication of how the season's going to play out. I'm simply giving you the highlights and my own 2 cents, so take it as you will. That said, I still don't really know what to make of this Falcons team. Shout out to Eternal Fire and Xantares for a great show, but Falcons skipping the HLTV awards to apparently practice clearly did fuck all. Anyway, before we get to the main event, let's try to rapid fire a few more of these debuts. To no surprise at all, ROP's on Vitality with ZywOo actually worked out quite well, and we'll get to see them play on LAN together as they cruise through their first 2 series without breaking a sweat. The now Nico-less G2 looked a little rocky at times. They also made it through to the playoffs, but not without shedding some blood to both Bait and Big, who are obviously in the bottom 16. That being said, Heavy God showed a lot of promise as Nico's replacement, especially in that second series. Truth be told, I don't think that they make it out alive on Dust 2 without his entries and clutches.
Malms goes in, gets covered by Crimbo, and now Heavy God's on for the 1v3 clutch. He's been playing lights out, and he gets himself the second. Tabson's on the M4 playing back plat position. Unbeknownst to Heavy God, a single bullet will do this for Tabson. Can they really rob it? No! Heavy God hits hard!
Incredible, right to the dome, another 3K, an amazing half so far from Heavy God.
Finally, we have Elige on FaZe, a touch of NA back on the historic international roster. And the Bald Eagle started things off hot as the team's highest impact player against M80. Unfortunately, despite Elige continuing to look solid in 2 great series from Brokey, they fell 2-0 to Pain. Elige expressed his disappointment in the result, but like most of the other teams in attendance, we will get to see them back at it very soon. Which brings us to the highlight of the opening stages of Blast Bounty, Imperial Female. As known for a while now, this was going to be the first showing for the all-female roster as they shot through the Valve rankings back in 2024. But no one knew what to expect. You see, as historic as this moment was and is, it's still controversial to many. Though some fans were excited to see a female team finally compete in Tier 1 CS, others had issues with how they got here. Imperial Female are by far the best women's team in CS right now, and they cleaned up at the HLTV Awards for their efforts. However, their placement in the Valve rankings, which is used for seeding and invites now, was gained through their domination of female-only tournaments throughout 2024. I personally don't view this as an issue. They dominated their respective circuit, and I think they deserve a seat at the table for it. And we can sit here and argue all day about merit and fairness, but regardless of how you feel, this is how Valve's new tournament rules work in 2025. Still, this was the first time something like this was going to happen. We have seen Tier 2 and 3 teams pull off upsets before, but never an all-female roster face a Tier 1 team in a tournament, let alone beat one. No one knew exactly what the skill gap would look like, if any, though we did know it would be a major feat given that Imperial challenged none other than the #1 ranked team, Na'Vi.
Does she clear the right corner?
There is time to clear this.
Yes, she does. Promise peak denied. 2v4 queued up. And remember, it's pistols. That's what Na'Vi came in with. The fruits of their labor have been dropped back to the ground. Ime could try to push this, but he's gonna wait for that flank from Wonderful to come through. And that Desert Eagle flank has been denied. 23 out with a second kill. And so Ime into the clutch. A 2v4 recovery made possible after that dirty Deagle peek from Cave. Smokes fade. And as Ime steps forth, Imperial could be on the brink of their second round. He's gonna have to start sprinting, doesn't hard clear. And 23, the key to this recovery.
Absolutely.
Yes, they lost, but they put up a fight. And against a team like Na'Vi, they didn't look out of place or that they didn't deserve to be there.
I think we kind of proved that we can compete against the Tier 1 teams. The thing is, like, we're not used to practicing these kind of teams, so it's very hard for us to know what to expect, how they play, what they do, but I'm sure if we get the opportunity, if we get the chance to actually practice against these kind of teams, we will be able to do much more than this, 100%. So for the female players out there, I would say to not give up. There is hope.
Imperial Female performed beyond expectations, especially considering that their top player, Anna, bottom fragged, and as Zaz explained, the team has yet to actually practice against any of the top male teams. But as you saw at the beginning of this video, JL confirmed that these ladies are the real deal, a sentiment echoed by many other top players who tuned in alongside the nearly 500,000 other viewers. Wonderful, you better think twice before you take out your fucking knife again against these women.
Brother.
Oh my.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
it doesn't. What the?
Who do you think you are?
I don't think there'd be an inclusion of a female team in Tier 1 CS that would make everyone happy. But it's happened, and it's only the beginning. Imperial Female will be attending Katowice at the end of the month, becoming the first, of course, female-only roster to do so. I honestly can't wait to see what happens, not just with Imperial, but with the whole Tier 1 scene right now. As I said, things have changed a lot, and this was only a taste of what's to come. One of the most historic events coming up next? Couldn't ask for a better start. With that, let me know what you guys think about the tournament, the debuts, Train, and of course, Imperial Female. I think this is going to be a very interesting and entertaining year.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.